I just want you to find your truth and stick to it. You know it will be okay. I know it. From the bottom of my heart, I know it. I love you, Papa.
Welcome to the Living with Lost podcast. Today I'm joined by a good mate, Josh Morrison. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Or
Good
you
as
live from your uni room,
can
yeah?
be. Say again, mate.
Are you live from your uni room?
I am live from my uni room. Yeah, my flatmates are doing fuck knows what in the other room, and yeah. I told them not to knock on the door. And
No
not,
disturbing.
nah, nah, they
Sweet,
won't.
man. Thank you for joining me today, bro. It means a lot.
No, no problem, man. Like, honestly, I'm happy to, man. It's been a long time coming. Do you know what I mean?
Most definitely. I think
Yeah,
also when you kind of just a lot of these thoughts linger on your mind, and from experience, I've always found talking about it definitely alleviates a lot of pain. Well, it helps me make sense of it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Sweet. So what? Say that again. Sorry, Remy.
So like I just kind of find talking about the kind of the confusion and things that go on up here, I kind of find it helps alleviate, and it like kind of
Yeah,
find
yeah.
some sort
One
of
hundred
clarity.
percent. Yeah. 100% talking about it completely helps, and I think a lot of men especially these days feel like
Yeah.
they don't have to speak about these kind of things because oh, men shouldn't be anxious and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
which is interesting because I actually read an article the other day where men like are more likely to commit suicide because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just
of
not open
course.
about their feelings. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
important to be open about your feelings.
Yeah, I mean, completely. I mean, we can come on to that in a bit, but first of all, I just want to ask. So who
Yeah,
is it we're going to be talking about today?
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, just tell us a little bit about their story.
Yeah, so my mum died when I was 11. She died of bone cancer, which spread and it got a lot worse. And we went to a
Yeah,
holiday uh, to Turkey a year before, and we thought everything was going to be okay. But
yeah,
it, uh, the on at the airport, we got told, not the airport, but 2 days before, I think, we got told that the cancer's back. So
okay.
it was a horrible
So
trip
when
to
did she
Turkey.
first get diagnosed?
Um, I couldn't tell you for sure, but I would say around 2006. So I was only about I was in because I went to your school, man. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
we
would have
obviously,
been, yeah. So I would have been about, yeah. I would say year eight.
yeah,
No, six. Year five or year six. Year
yeah,
five or
yeah,
year
yeah,
six.
definitely.
I couldn't take it seriously then. You know,
Yeah, of course, of
at that
course.
age, and like that age, it's difficult to like
So
stuff
you were
like.
saying she first got ill about what 2006, 2007, and then
Yeah,
couple
and then
a few
it
years
was a
later.
yeah, it was basically an ongoing process of making like the doctors telling us that like it's going to be okay or it's not going to be okay, and eventually I remember the day she sat, like I spent the last night with her, and she said to me, she said to me, I'm gonna die tomorrow, Josh, and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it
Yeah,
because in that moment, and I'm sure you kind of understand
yeah,
because you might
yeah.
have that same scenario, but the fact that she said that, it I just couldn't believe. I just didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, and it happened. You know what I
I
mean?
think also like it's not that you don't want to believe it. It's like it's hard to make sense of it because one day she's here. The person my mum, she one day she's here, and then a day later, it's like, this living, breathing person is no longer around. And I mean, I
Uh,
was 19, so,
yeah,
and I couldn't
yeah.
really make sense of it. So being what, 9, 10, how do you say, like 10,
Well,
11 sort
well,
of thing?
for the ages from 6 to 11, she had
Yeah.
cancer basically. So
So when 11, hearing, your mum telling you, firstly, that, it's very brave of her to say that. Um,
yeah, yeah,
but it must have been like, especially at that time, Do you know what the funny thing
Yeah.
is? I remember, so the holiday in Turkey, like I vaguely remember it because I was
Yeah.
obviously there as well. It was like, was it Likia World or something?
Yeah, bro. Well remembered. It was
It was
Likia
Likia
World.
World, wasn't it? Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that? Yeah, it was literally Likia World.
You
Oh,
remember that,
okay.
don't you?
No, I remember. I can't believe you remember that, bro.
Mate, I've got a good memory when I want it to work. It kind of switches on like
Okay,
every so
fair.
often.
Mate, yeah, and my mum was eating loads of figs because she thought figs would help her feel better
Oh, really?
for cancer. Because
Yeah,
figs
yeah.
have something in them that like get rid of cancer.
Okay, yeah.
So she was eating loads of figs. But did your mum have cancer at the time then as well?
Yes, yeah. So I feel like, I
Okay, I
feel
didn't.
like she definitely had. I don't know like fully because she first got ill when I was 2008.
Yeah,
But like she kind of had such an on and off battle like after it was like a 10-11 year sort of thing. So
yeah.
when we were on holiday in Likia World, I feel like she was in remission. I feel like she was okay.
Mm.
But again, that's the thing with cancer. Like, is she ever okay? Because like
Yeah,
who?
I mean that's the thing. I mean that I was speaking to my friend earlier about euthanasia and stuff, and
Yeah,
obviously I'm not necessarily pro euthanasia, but
yeah,
Switzerland obviously have euthanasia, and I feel like if you have terminal cancer, like pretty much our mums did,
yeah,
would perhaps a lot of the UK population want to have
yeah.
euthanasia. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Because
it's a very
I
interesting
want,
point.
yeah. I mean, I like if personally, I'm talking more of a personal note. But personally,
Yeah,
if I got terminal cancer, I'm I would want euthanasia because there's nothing to
yeah,
live for. But
yeah. I
that's
think
that's
I think it's a mindset thing because I know from my mum she would never accept her fate. Like she would never sort of, even though all these changes were going through her body and her mind, she was constantly so certain that she wasn't going to die, and she was
yeah.
each day she was living. And I think also it was that certainty that obviously prolonged her life. So in terms of, like you said, I think it's
And
very much patient dependent sort of thing, obviously.
yeah, and so when you say she was like exercising, did she do like qi gung and like all these exercises, like these
No, no,
Chinese?
no, 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 no.
Oh,
uh
okay.
she
Because
was
my mom did. Yeah, go on.
no, say that again.
My mom was like a chi, like she did a lot of like qi gung and stuff, and like these Chinese meditation things that she thought would help cancer.
Yeah. um I don't know too much about that. I know like she tried yoga a little bit.
Yeah,
She
the yoga and qi gung are quite similar. It's basically
Okay.
just a Chinese version of yoga, bro.
Oh,
Like
really?
that's
Yeah.
what,
Do you know much about Qigong?
I don't. I remember walking into my mum's room and watching her doing it and think like, good on you, but kind of
Yeah, yeah,
laughing.
yeah, yeah.
It was alright. It was alright. But yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
But so back to obviously Turkey. We were talking about Turkey.
yeah,
So as a holiday, I mean, how much of that can you actually remember? Because obviously you with your family.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of it at all. I remember turning up at the at the hotel. It was a very posh hotel, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah,
pretty fucking nice hotel, and they gave us
there was
free
like water
champagne.
slides and shit.
Yeah. They gave us like 3 pints champagne, and I remember my mum eating lots of figs, and I never realized, even though I knew that those figs were for her cancer, I didn't
Yeah,
think much of it. If you see what I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah. Of
didn't.
course.
Yeah. So it's one of them. It's one. Yeah. It's yeah.
So
What about you?
obvious.
So like, what was your mum? You said your mum was fit and healthy, but was she on any sort of diet or anything?
Well, obviously towards the end of her journey, this was
Yeah.
very early days. She had like quite a long bout. Towards the, like, she definitely, around 5 years, she kind of made a lot of lifestyle changes in the form of like dieting. um
Okay.
I think all these little
Yeah.
things that she changed in her diet definitely prolonged her life. I mean, you got to have such strict, determination. But some of the things, for the changes, the lifestyle changes that she made,
Yeah, man.
it's
I
like you
mean,
think,
yeah.
how do you do that sort of thing?
No, I
You know?
know, man. I mean, even little things like I used to be scared for my mum to. So, like, if my mum said she's going out for dinner tonight, I then ask her what area she's going to, and then I'd Google the area, and let's say it's Hackney, I would message her and say come home and shit like that. So I was
Yeah,
like, before she died, my biggest fear, like my biggest fear in the world, was to lose my mum, and I think for both of us it is, for me, it is the worst thing to lose. I know a
yeah,
parent would say that is the worst thing to lose, but we both don't have children, so we can't comprehend all that. But the fact that I was so scared of losing her before I even thought about losing her, before she even
yeah.
had cancer,
I mean, it's
shows
just a
how much
huge blow to give any young child. It's a massive change in
yeah,
your life plan. I mean, no one expects to lose a parent, in their early teens, near
yeah,
enough. It's
yeah.
it's a real
And
travesty. But like,
and if
what was your relationship with your mum like?
very close, very close.
Yeah,
She was I was I would say I was a mummy's boy. I love my dad. I would say I was in between, to be fair. I was a mummy's boy and a daddy's boy. But
yeah. Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, my mom, yeah, she adapts. My sister like adapts the role that my mom does, if you know what I
okay.
mean. But at the end of the day, we both just miss our mom, and it's frustrating. But yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean.
mean, how was your, well, what initially was your grief like? I mean, do you remember much around the time she passed? Do you remember like you?
Um, uh, in terms of grief, I remember watching. So the minute she passed, we had caviar and champagne. When the minute she died, we watched Gavin and Stacey, and then that was like trying to help us feel better. But
Yeah.
what's so interesting is I missed 1 week of school when my mum died, but I missed 2 weeks of school when my dog died,
Oh,
which
really?
is supposed to show it's like I had to get back to reality, if you
Yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Did you have the
interesting.
same?
Well, completely. So I was first year of uni. No, second year. My bad. I was second
Yeah.
year of uni. And it was a weird sort of time for me. I'd just gone back to uni after a good
Yeah.
summer sort of thing, and then I found out, mum was gonna, well, it wasn't looking good. She was in hospital or hospice.
Yeah.
I was coming
Yeah.
back from Knots because I go to Knots quite free. Like I was going back every so often, and when she passed, I gave it like 3 or 4 days before I headed back to uni. I thought,
Yeah.
right, this is it was probably a form of escapism, but I was like, I kind of want to go to uni to be with my friends, go out drinking, forget all this. But what I didn't realize is I was not ready. My mind wasn't
Yeah.
ready. My body wasn't ready. And where it was a very uni's a very difficult place. It's very not difficult, but
Of
it
course,
can
man.
be
Yeah. Of
emotionally difficult. And
course.
when I
Yeah.
was drinking, I think that's definitely when I started feeling a lot more emotional.
Yeah. What? So when you were at uni, you were more emotional.
Well, it wasn't so much when I was at uni, like necessarily. It was just the idea of completely like, so obviously when you're at home, it's a sense of a familiarity.
Yeah.
It's in a
Of course.
comfortable
Yeah.
setting. It's easy. When you go to uni, it's you're independent for the first time, and I wasn't looking after myself, and I felt like I needed, like, it sounds weird, like I'm a 19, well, at the time I was 19, but I needed to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
looked aftered. Looked aftered. either way,
Yeah.
English is not my strong suit. But yeah, so it was definitely emotionally quite a difficult time for me. I mean, for
Yeah, man.
yourself, has your grief changed over time? As you've got older, have you noticed?
I'll be honest. Over time, it does get easier, and I remember
Yeah,
saying to you recently that it doesn't get easier, but I, I actually regret saying that because I genuinely think it does get easier because
yeah,
I remember sending you that text saying it doesn't get easier, and then thinking actually, I thought back to
a
the
little
time when
change of mind. Yeah,
of course it gets easier, bro. It does get easier. And I'm not saying it gets easier in the sense that you're gonna forget her. She's always gonna be in your heart. Like I've got photos of her all around my room.
yeah.
I mean, I'll show you if I want, but it's pointless anyway. But
It's not
uh
pointless.
yeah, I know, yeah, like I got photos like I don't think you see them
Yeah, 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 of course.
like there,
Yeah,
and like there,
sweet.
basically. And yeah, so
You're
yeah, it
always taking her with you, sort of
doesn't
thing.
get easier as such, but you have to learn. Well, you don't. You got to learn to just accept it, and you do learn to accept it because at the end of the day, man, like for someone that's lost their mum in 2011, so what that's been like nearly 10 years now, yeah.
Yeah,
You just have to move on. Like from my view, you eventually learn to move on. So I know for a fact you're grieving a lot more than me right now, which is maybe debatable because no one knows what's going on in each other's
yeah,
brains. Because sometimes I would look at the picture of my mum and I cry. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? There's days like that. There's a day the other night like that. Do you know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
but yeah,
I think that's
it,
the thing, though. It's definitely you don't know when you're gonna feel a certain way. Like you said, you could just watching Gavin and Stacey, an episode of Gavin and Stacey that she used to
yeah,
watch, and then you're thinking, "Fuck," she's not around anymore. Or
yeah,
like you said, I definitely had a moment actually quite recently. Um, I don't think like it's not that I haven't been thinking about her as much. It's just like like you said, you kind of you're moving on with your life, and sort of like it's not always in
yeah,
your peripheral. Like it's not something you're always thinking about. And then I saw like a text she messaged me, like I was looking at our texts we had, and I just started feeling, it's like it's sort of like gut wrenching, sort of the
yeah, yeah.
the fact
No,
that she's no longer
I
around,
complete.
obviously.
Yeah, I completely like what's the word? I know how that feels if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Oh, what was I gonna say? Have you ever? So, if you don't mind me asking, how did the days up until your mum died? Like, what was because
Um, yeah. So look, I think, as you know yourself, it's when you're surrounded with someone who has cancer, and towards
yeah,
the end of their life, it becomes quite clear. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's like it's not like, oh, this is this is a shock. Like the fact your mum said, like, I'm gonna pass tomorrow. It's when you have cancer, it's like it's quite, you can tell, like you lose color, you become really thin, sort of thing. Mate,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was a very strange experience. You don't expect to
No,
see,
of course not,
you
man.
don't
I mean,
expect, no one should see that, especially
yeah.
at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my mum. She, as I was squeezing her hand, and she was squeezing it back, even though she's in a coma. She,
Yeah.
uh, she dropped a tear from her eye, and
Wow.
she was in a coma. We were like to the nurse, "Is that real?" Like she actually crying. She's like, "Yeah."
Incredible.
So
She sounds like such a strong
it was great.
woman.
Yeah, yeah, she definitely was. But I was lucky to spend the last night with her. That's for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember, the last night, which is, it's so, I find it so weird, saying the last night, but she was, well, it was quite remarkable really, because like you said, she was pretty much in a coma. She was still breathing, and obviously, she's quite delirious, and like she managed to, at this similar stage to what you're saying about your mum, the similar state probably, and she
Yeah.
managed to, like, my brother and I were sitting either side of her bed, and she's
Mm.
managed to just like reach out and grab our hand, sort of thing, and like squeeze it. um
Yeah, so it's very similar. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's
So
like,
yeah, it's
even,
real, man. It's real. And although it's lovely, it's heart
it's
wrenching. You
hard,
know,
yeah, mate, I
bro,
completely,
it's
because it's,
awful. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. But
but I think, initially, that image of her was very much in my mind.
yeah.
Like, when she passed, it was very much, that was all I could see, sort of thing. But I think I'm definitely at a stage now where the memories and my thoughts are definitely of her fondly. Do you feel the same?
Sorry, say that
So
again.
what, when you think of your mum, do you think of her for the good times and when she was well and happy, or is it still quite difficult and anxious thought, sort of thing?
If I'm honest, bro, I don't think of the good times. I would love to think of the good times, and I
Yeah,
do sometimes think of the good times, but because those bad times were so raw and so horrible that they stick to you. Good times don't stick to you. Scary times stick to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like, what about you?
Well, yeah, no, it's like, I definitely, right now, it's definitely a lot more of her fond memories. I definitely, it kind of, it's changed over time, but
Yeah, yeah.
I,
It does change over time though, man,
yeah,
because like sometimes I feel like nowadays I think I look back on the good memories, but there can be nights that it's not easy not to look at the bad memories. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because those bad memories are so raw in your heart, and there's like my mum fell off her bed. Do you know what I mean? Once, so
yeah,
like those kind of memories, how can you forget that? Like she wants you to
yeah.
see snow for
That
the
must
first
that must be difficult though, having these, those memories at the front of your mind constantly. Well, not constantly, but when you think of her, those are the memories that surface. That must be quite difficult.
100%, man. Yeah, no, it is difficult. It is difficult, but yeah, I mean, you just got to. It's a tough one, man, because it's like I'm sure we can both agree that it's like there's no there's no resu- revolution. How do you pronounce it? Uh,
Revolution.
no, fuck.
I
There's
don't
my
know.
dyslexia.
I don't know where you're
There's
going with this, mate.
there's no outcome.
Oh,
It's another
do you
word.
mean resolution?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's go with
Maybe.
outcome.
Maybe.
Let's go with
Anyway,
outcome
yeah,
then.
we'll go
Yeah.
with outcome. We'll go with outcome. There's no outcome of it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we've lost. And we have to accept it because we have to
Yeah.
think about our future, and we have to think about our girlfriends or whatever, or our
Yeah.
family. We just have to move on because at the end of the day, to put it bluntly, for someone that lost his mum, what, in 2011,
Yeah.
I'm now that I might lose another family member who's
Yeah.
next. Me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you feel like what's your relationship with, I don't know, do you have siblings? I mean, you said you're the youngest, but do you have,
Yeah, I'm the youngest. So my sister's 24, just turned 25, I think. And
yeah.
my brother's 27, just turned 28, I think. Or maybe he's
Okay.
27. I think my brother's 27. Yeah, something like that.
One of those, yeah. So what's your relationship
Yeah,
like with them?
no, really good, really good. It's
Yeah.
very supportive, and I can imagine with yours, you're very supportive. Are you
Yeah, of course,
close
mate.
together?
Of course, yeah. No, like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have,
and that's so important, man. That's so important
yeah.
because if you went through what you went through and you didn't have a sibling, you would be a very different man, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree, having sibling, like having siblings has definitely helped, you know, because I haven't, you don't feel so lonely. Like there are other people
Yeah,
who
yeah, yeah,
understand
yeah.
your situation, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Have you ever thought of getting any tattoos of your mum at all?
So I don't actually know. I mean, my brother's got one. He
Okay.
actually he managed to, well, not managed. He got one just before she passed. So he showed her the tattoo that he got. But to be honest, I haven't actually thought about getting one. What about yourself?
I mean, I want to get a tattoo of a rabbit because she used to call me Rabbit Boy because oh, long story. She used to call me Rabbit Boy, so I
Rabbit
want to
boy,
get
yeah.
rabbit on my arm. But yeah,
Okay. Just what? One day it's
I think
pending.
something like that is nice to cling on to because at the end of the day, although we might see them one day, and I hope we do see them one day,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I was
just
always thinking about a tattoo though, and I was just thinking like, obviously, it had to be, or it has to be like meaningful. Obviously, like your rabbit one, I couldn't just get, you know, a random, you know, mum just tattooed on my upper arm
yeah,
just for no reason. Do you know what I
no,
mean? Like,
no,
it had to be
yeah. Have
some
you ever?
sort of, yeah.
Yo, sorry,
Sorry,
bro. Go.
no, it's weird because the connection, like, I don't know why, it's like a second off sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I get you. Sorry.
But yeah,
Have
go
you
on.
ever had any like spooky experiences like ghosts or nothing?
Can't say I have, mate.
Oh, because I basically so this isn't my well, first of all, I'll start with my mum, yeah. When my mum died, we turned the radio off. Uh
Oh,
because
do you mean like sort of spiritual things and like in terms of
yeah,
seeing?
yeah. So like we
Okay, so you
turned
don't
the
mean like
radio
Casper the
off.
Ghost. You mean like,
Yeah, so we randomly turned the radio on a random channel and her
yeah.
favorite song, Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison came on,
Oh
and
really?
it was like as she died. It
Oh
was unbelievable.
really?
It was
That's
unbelievable.
that's
And the
incredible.
same thing happened to my grandma, man. Like me and my mum were walking to this is before my mum died, obviously. We were walking to school and we literally swore we smelt like grandma's perfume. Like I think we even missed school that day because of it.
Oh
Like we were
really?
that shocked. Like it was her perfume.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is Littleton Wood. This is in Littleton Wood, like
Okay,
a
yeah, yeah,
tiny
yeah, yeah,
wood.
yeah.
This is our shortcut. There was no way no one walked past there. But who knows? It could like for me, it's good to attach, and I'm sure for you is
Yeah, I mean, obviously there have definitely been situations like that. Um, yeah, so obviously you mentioned your mom liked Brown Eyed Girl. How does that song even go? Is it like duh,
uh
duh, duh? No, I'm not a singer, so I don't want to
I
bust out a
couldn't
lyric.
sing it. It's too hard to sing, bro. It's a
Yeah.
good song though. It's a good song, you know.
Yeah, I might
It's a
slap
really
it on karaoke next time.
yes, bro. You got to.
But yeah, so she loved her song was Dancing Queen. Um
Okay, well,
and
your mum's.
yeah, yeah. So she
I love
that
that
was
song. That's ABBA, of course, isn't it?
ABBA, yeah, yeah, yeah. And to be
Okay.
honest, I hear it quite a lot. I mean, definitely there's a club in Knots Ocean.
Yeah.
It's a student club on Wednesdays, and so the music's obviously quite, it can be quite cheesy. So that song obviously does come up quite a lot. But
Yeah,
when
yeah.
whenever I hear it, you know, these days, it's just kind of, it's like a it's like my mum's kind of watching, like she's just, you know, she's there, she's acknowledging, she's making sure I'm all right, sort of thing. Like that's kind of how I think of it, you know. Obviously the songs are one thing, but is there anything else that has sort of happened that has kind of made you like smile or be like, that's your mom, sort of
Yeah, for
just
sure. Yeah, actually, yeah. It's interesting you mentioned that actually because, like, feathers, for example,
white
uh,
feathers?
my mum always said to me, if there's a white feather around, it's
Yes.
me. Is that
Yeah,
happened to
I
you?
have that as well, mate. I have that as well.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And have you
Like
noticed it?
I do. It's like it's like they kind of I kind of find these feathers when I need them most. Like maybe they're always there and I'm not kind of
Mate,
looking
but
at them.
don't you think they like arrive? Like I remember walking down into my kitchen, yeah, and there was a
Yeah.
feather, and there was no pillows.
Yeah, yeah.
There was
It's just
no
like
reason that there was no reason for there to
just
be a
a
feather.
rogue feather.
I mean,
It's just like, what are you
um,
doing here? Yeah, completely.
it
I get.
was yeah, it was amazing to be fair. Like those kind of things is what generally, and they will increase. They generally get you by, and I can
Yeah,
tell you that. Like you do, it does get better, and like I said before, that doesn't mean it gets better completely. She's always going to be there, and she's always going to be your mum, and she's always going to be dead. To be blunt as that,
yeah.
but
See, I
these
you have
little
quite
things,
a blunt way of looking at it. Like you kind of see it for what it is. You know, like you said,
I
I
think,
always
yeah.
I always
Wait,
find
sorry, go on.
saying she's dead quite harsh, and I don't find not that I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
believe in death. I kind of like to carry her forward in the sense of like I
of
say she
course, yeah.
passed sort of thing.
No,
So
I
it's
know,
like
but I think that the reason for that is because I lost my mum in 2011. You lost your
yeah,
mum what 2 years ago
yeah,
or less. So I think
less,
I've learned to kind of not accept it at all, but learned to kind of acknowledge the fact that she is gone and I will see her again.
yeah,
Because if I had the mentality of me not being able to see her again,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to live with myself because she was the love of my life. I would have done. I'm sure
yeah.
as you two.
I'm a mommy's boy as well, mate. I can relate.
There's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, like, does another question for you actually? Does it piss you off when like people kind of not just like talk about your mum, not talk about your mum, but
Yeah,
talk about mums in general. Like, does it make you feel a bit sad? So let's
um,
say
yeah.
someone's like, oh, like my mum's cooking me dinner, and do you not kind of sit there and think, oh, I wish my mum was here to cook me dinner?
Yeah, well, Joel, mate, it's actually funny you say that because recently I did like a little I worked on a little video for a charity for
Yeah,
Grief Encounter, and the video, this small movie or whatever you'd call it, kind of focuses around the idea of like these small events that you find difficult. And an example of that might be so there was like a perfect family, let's say, on graduation day, and then there was another family with just like a girl and her dad, and that they're looking at the perfect family and then feeling sad because the mum's not there, sort of thing. So I completely get what you're saying. I do find it difficult, going around to people's houses and seeing, a mum present in the house. I do find that very difficult. Do you?
yeah, man, 100%, 100%, 100%. Another thing is, have you ever kind of, because I've experienced this, has your mum ever given you a gift and you've kind of broken it, or you got rid of it or anything like that? Maybe
What do you mean?
before she
What
died.
kind of gift are we talking about, though?
Christmas big gift, birthday gift,
Yeah, yeah,
random
of
gift.
course, of course. Yeah.
Because yeah, what kind of gift?
I don't know,
Or do you
mate.
not remember?
I can't remember specifically,
Fair
but yeah,
enough. Because yeah, my mum bought me a toboggan, and I remember I was in year seven, and I for some reason left this toboggan. Uh, uh, I think we got mugged actually. I think we got mugged. I can't even remember in
yeah.
year seven. But I
What, someone
basically
mugged you for your toboggan?
no, actually we didn't get mugged. We lost the toboggan, and
Yeah,
we couldn't be bothered to go and find it again. But my stepdad and sister were very, very angry, and forever I regretted that because that was the last gift my mum gave
yeah,
me a month before she died. And thinking back to that now, it's like if I had the mentality I have now, I'd love to keep the last gift she gave me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Of course, mate. There are definitely a few things I have that I do take around with me. Definitely some of her like belongings. She's got a few jumpers that I wear.
Yeah,
She's actually got this actually really nice pair of UGG slippers that I'm not gonna lie to you, they're very comfy. Like they don't look very they're quite feminine, but I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, I rock them. They got a nice bit of wall ratio. It's very, yeah, so I do wear those quite a bit. But yeah, no, I get that completely. About a bit about yourself. Have you what like growing up, without a mum, how do you think that how was that for you? Do you think you like in terms of like behavior, do you think you were more reckless, or do you think, because having a mum, obviously she nurtures you, she tells you what's right and wrong, I think, yeah, so just how were you growing up, sort of thing?
I would say I had a so yeah, so I definitely felt a lot of aggression when it came to football, especially because of my mum. Because my
Yeah,
mum used to watch me play football. She used to tie my laces when I was very little, and like I used to get aggressive, and maybe it influenced my behavior too. I also resulted in drugs that I shouldn't have been
yeah,
involved in, um, which were called Xanax, and I'm not afraid to say that because I'm
yeah,
over that. I'm 3 years clean of that. I was only addicted for a few months of that, but that I
yeah,
lost my girlfriend because of that. I lost a lot of friends from a few friends from that. I lost a lot of respect from
yeah.
friends. I lost a lot of
And do
respect
you think
from.
that stemmed because of what happened, losing your
I
mum and
mean,
not
it's
having?
hard to tell. It's hard to tell because obviously I've got friends that are drug addicts right now, like or blah blah blah, or doing stupid shits,
Yeah.
doing stupid stuff right now who haven't lost a parent. But personally, if I had to put a bet on it, I think because I was so angry.
So it has obviously been quite difficult for you growing up then. It's been,
Oh yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for my brother and sister,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to, we're like a rock, like
yeah,
we have like we speak all the time. My sister calls me all the time, vice versa. My brother calls me all the time, I call him, blah blah blah. And yeah, we're very very close, and without them I really couldn't cope, because
yeah.
obviously I have my stepdad as well, and he's 70, he's 73 now actually.
Oh, really?
Very old, but
Yeah.
my mom would be 55 right now, I think,
Okay.
and it's quite an age gap. But yeah, they
So
love each.
are you close with so is this your stepdad who was married to
Yeah,
your
my
mum?
I'm very 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 close with my stepdad. Yeah,
Okay,
and my
fine.
dad. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
did you get close like before your mum passed? What, like, has your relationship changed over time, sort of thing?
Uh, uh, since
Or
my
just
mom passed,
naturally as you grew up, it just
my relationship with friends or my family or both.
with your family?
With my family, I would say I've gotten closer to pretty much all of my family, to be honest, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's been no arguments or anything. Like yeah.
Weird, well, not weird question, but like, how have you, being obviously COVID quarantine, how, I mean, have you noticed like more feelings like surfacing, or has it, because obviously the initial lockdown, that was, mentally quite difficult, but did you like notice anything kind of different, bring like things coming up, obviously being in the, I don't know if you were in the house or not, but yeah.
I mean, quarantine, because I'm in Manchester right now. Quarantining in my house is fine because I've got people around me, but that doesn't mean.
But what
I
about the
mean,
first lockdown?
first lockdown was difficult. I mean, I got treated for OCD recently, about about 3 months ago or something. For I
Yeah.
had a habit of kissing all my mum's paintings 4 times, but
Okay.
4 times 4, so 16 times, because 4 is my lucky number.
Yeah.
So even stupid shit like running up the stairs 4 times,
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, man, like but my I even kissing my mum 16 times in one night.
And why would you do that? Was that like
Well,
what would you
I had
think?
CBT therapy to try and figure that out exactly.
Yeah.
And he basically said, "You did that because your mum died." Basically,
Yeah.
he basically said that you do that because you want to grab hold of her, you want everything to do with her, which is why I want to get a tattoo of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
It's
what do you
because
think? Would you agree with his assessment or
yeah, no,
it,
I would agree. I mean, it's difficult to tell because of COVID, it actually cut out really early, but it's difficult to tell. But
yeah.
he was a pretty good, yeah, he was a good person, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of the situations which yeah, like I said, it doesn't get easier, but you learn to live with it, and you really do, man, because I'm sure you can tell by how almost not dull I am about it, but almost so
Yeah.
emotionless about it, you know.
I think you've had a lot of thinking time though. Like this
Yeah,
is all
exactly,
very
man. It's all about thinking time. It's all about that doesn't make it any easier
no.
whatsoever, but having that thinking time and that learning to have that thinking time really really helps. I mean, have you had any sort of therapy or anything?
Yeah, so
If
I,
you
I
don't.
definitely I did use therapy. I still do. I mean, to be honest, also I do find these kind of conversations quite therapeutic in the sense because it
Yeah,
is.
100%, bro. Same as me, 100%. I
Do
was
you feel that as
literally,
well? It's like it's just kind of relating and just being able to discuss it,
yeah,
sort of
man.
thing.
Because like we went to the same school, we went through the same. We both lost our mums from
Yeah,
cancer. It's a child's worst nightmare. You know what I mean? But
yeah, completely.
yeah, it's frustrating, bro.
It's joy. It's not that it's frustrating. It's just like for me, it's just that feeling that she's never, I'm never gonna, see her face again, sort of thing. And I think that's what make the days where I'm not feeling great. It's that realization that um do you go to your mum's gravestone? Do you find comfort in
Oh,
that?
no, my mum's not buried.
She's
My mum
not.
is. Is your mum buried?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Personally, I would like to get buried, but my mum was cremated. We cremated her in a really nice place in Hampstead
Okay,
Heath, and
okay. That's a place that
yeah,
she liked, or
yeah. We used to walk our dog there a lot and shit.
okay,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But
yeah.
what made your mum want to get buried, if you don't mind
Well,
me
it's
asking?
it's yeah. I mean, it's a traditional thing to do. Obviously, I'm Jewish, so that's like the
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, my grandpa is Jewish, so I'm quarter Jewish.
you have a
I'm
bit of a
actually. Have you ever done ancestry?
um. No, I've always wanted to do one.
Because
I've
I'm
never
I'm like
done one.
fucking 38% Russian Jew or some
Oh,
shit.
really?
I'm only 6% English, bro.
When have you done this test? When do you do that? How accurate
It's
is that?
£90. It's ancestry.
Oh,
I did it
really?
last Christmas. You basically spit in a cup and they give you your DNA.
Do you
I'm
think
like,
they're accurate though?
no, they have to be because you don't give them any details. So for them to know that I'm
Oh,
Russian,
yeah, 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 yeah,
them to
yeah.
know that you literally spit in a cup. So for them to know that I'm Russian, for
I
them to
find
know
that
I'm Scottish.
that's quite jokes though, how they can just tell
Yeah,
by
it's sick. I mean, I got 6% Italian, 6% Greek. I don't know.
Italiano, really.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't. Yeah, I might get on that after this chat. It does
You
sound
should, bro.
quite.
It's really interesting because, like, especially I did it after my mum died, and I wanted to see, like, for me, it means a lot because I'm more Russian than both. Because my brother and sister have done ancestry, and my mum was half Russian,
Yeah.
and she so I'm basically more Russian than my brother and sister, basically
Oh,
from
really?
ancestry. yeah, by a
How does
fair
that
bit.
even work?
Because basically my brother got a lot of Scandinavian genes, and I got more
But
Greek and Italian
you
genes, or I don't know how it works exactly. But it is
oh,
legit.
okay, yeah, fair enough. I get
It's
it.
about it's a balance of the genes. So like he's a little bit more Scottish, I'm a
Yeah.
little bit more Irish, I'm a little bit less Scottish. It's quite
You've
hard to
got
explain. It's like a
yeah,
big
no.
pie chart.
I get the picture, mate. I get the
Yeah,
picture.
yeah.
But anyway, before we do wrap this up,
Yeah.
I always like to end it on this kind of note. I like so if there was a chat or if you could speak to your mum again, and there was like one
Yeah.
thing you kind of want to say to her, um,
Yeah.
what is it you'd say?
Um. So if I can meet her one last
Yes.
time,
Well, so let's say you had, I don't know, she physically appeared, or you just had the opportunity to have a conversation with her. What
yeah.
would you say?
I would tell her I love her, and I would hug her, and I mean, if I had a day with her, I would do whatever she wants. But the
Yeah.
main thing I would do is just tell her I love her, and she means the world to me. Sorry, bro, I'm getting a bit emotional because that question is quite deep, isn't it? But yeah,
Yeah, of course. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
but
obviously, this has been quite a deep conversation. I
of
hope.
course, bro. But it's been good talking about it, and
Yeah, of course.
that's
But
it,
anyway,
bro.
thank you so much for joining me today,
All right,
mate.
thank you, bro. Take care,
Sweet.
yeah.
In a bit, bro.